Don't regret. What is the one event you regret most in life? There was a time when I disrespected my father in a really hurtful way, saying something out loud that I knew was not true, something that made me reflect on the person I was. However, I also gained one of the most important values of my life so far: self control. It all started when I was around 6. My family and I were in a small amusement park. Although it was fun, I was too small to ride some of the rides that just looked radical to me. After a while, my family had decided to go to lunch. However, I was bothering my mother because I was really thirsty. Then I saw my dad drinking from a water bottle. I asked him for some, but he refused to give. Little did I know he was sick, but I kept nagging that my throat felt dry. But he refused to give me any. Then, without thinking, 3 unforgivable words came out of my mouth, pointing at my father. "I hate you." In that instant, my mother snapped. She yelled at me not to say those kind of things. But as she gave me a lecture, I did not even listen. I just looked at my dad. I saw how sad he looked, and I felt the guilt and regret swelling inside me. Then we strolled into the restaurant. As we ate, all I could think of was that, how horrible I felt, how I wished to take it all back. Then I told myself that I would think before I act, that I would control myself in those kind of situations, to think of all the possible outcomes of every important decision I make. Then I stood up, took 2 steps towards my dad, and said, "I'm sorry," with all the confidence in the world. As I think back on that day, I no longer wish all that hadn't happened. If it had not happened, then I would not have acquired the value of self-control. I use this value every day, whether it's choosing a balanced meal for lunch, whether it's talking to or confronting someone else. Even when I'm organizing my homework schedule and still have time to have fun. I always think before I act or talk, but I'm still not the master of this skill. Sometimes emotions or competitions get the best of me, and I say things I did not mean. I'm still trying to get better at controlling myself. That is how this value defines me. It helps me take the best action possible, and those actions are what define who I am. So the next time you do something you regret, make sure you walk away with all possible valuable lessons you can. If you do that, then it is impossible to regret anything. Fact. If you're a happy person, it is important to regret anything.